Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful Corvette information. Today, we're going to cover the three signs that you are at the right shop for your car. So guys, lately here at the shop, I've had a lot of Corvettes coming in on flatbeds that had been removed out of other dealerships or other shops after having sat there for months, having gotten wet inside, having been dinged up, ignored, dusty, dirty, and not fixed. I'm not going to talk about who or where or why, that doesn't matter. But what that has done is made me really think about, for those of you who are trying to figure out where to go and how to determine, is this shop right for my Corvette, or right for your Mercedes, or right for your whatever. Here are the three basic things that I tell everybody, and I'm going to share them with you today. Number one, find whatever shop you find, try to find as local to you as possible. So if there is a problem, you can show up on the front door and you're not constantly having to deal with them via phone, text, or email, okay? Because as you know, there's a huge advantage to being there in person, where when they say, well, this, and this, you say, okay, great, show me. And now they take you back and they will show you what they're talking about, because you need to understand it. And if you don't, tell them you don't until they explain it well enough or show you well enough to where you do. Normally, you're going to find that the local place who does that is also going to be good at communication, okay? Communication is absolutely essential, because you want to know what's going on with your car. You want to know if they find additional things or they find unrelated things on your car that are a concern. They should communicate that to you immediately, give you the option of whether to address it now or not or whatever, but communication should always be super quick. Now, I know if you guys have ever called here, oftentimes I can't come to the phone to answer a call when you call in because I'm already on the phone with somebody else and there's 15 other people waiting. But I go right down my list, and sometime within a reasonable period, 3 or 4 hours, or if it's the end of the day, the next day, I am going to get back to you. Communication has to occur. If you feel you're being ignored, odds are you're being ignored, which means you're at the wrong garage. So, secondly, you want to find, so number two, right? You want a place that is realistically priced. Now, realistically doesn't mean cheap. If you're looking for the cheapest place to do the job, I promise you're not going to be happy with the outcome. You may be happy with the money when you pay it. You will probably not be happy with the results 2, 3, 6 months down the road. You also, along with realistically priced, what constitutes a completed job to them? And this one you kind of have to be a little cagey about. You have to kind of go into it like, so what you're trying to determine is, do they consider the job done when they're paid, or do they consider the job done when the car is fixed and you are satisfied? Now, those things should happen at the same time, right? They fix the car, you're satisfied with it, you pay them. Bang, bang, bang. The problem is a lot of shops out there have the idea that we're getting paid. Everything else is secondary. It can't be. It all has to be of equal importance, because that money means something to you, it clearly means something to them, and having your car back fixed correctly means something to you and should also mean something to them. So realistically priced, but not cheap. And don't let them lay you away either, because if they're quoting you thousands of dollars above anybody in the business that you've talked to, they're probably telling you they really don't want to do the job. And that's okay. That's okay. It's just a nice way of saying, I don't want to work on your car, or I don't feel it fits my skill set. Finally, number three. You want to deal with a shop that exhibits flexibility, okay? You need to be flexible too. But if your car comes in for what should be a 4-hour job and it blossoms, oh my gosh, you've got a crack in your transmission and you've got a live wombat living in your engine bay, we have to deal with these things too. Now, they've booked you in for that 4-hour period, right? So they're probably going to have to be flexible with their schedule to be able to get around to that car again, come back to it the next few days, because they have work scheduled days and weeks out, just like we do. So if they're going to be flexible with you, which they should be, especially on something that's a complete surprise to both of you, you need to be flexible with them. You can't call them up and say, no, I got a car show this weekend and I need to take that car out, because they're going to be really reticent to let a car go that has a serious issue that they now know about, have told you about, and could put you in some sort of danger, or at least your car in danger. And no shop wants to do that. Along with that, and this one is fairly specific to the dealerships. If you take your car in and they discover that it is a shifter problem with your C6, that's a good one because this is one of the things we deal with all the time. As you guys know, we make the upgraded automatic shifter harness that solves the stuck in park problem with the C6. If not, link to the video below. But if you take your car, especially an 09 or newer car right now, 09 to 13, into the dealership and say, hey, mine's stuck in park, what they're going to do is say, okay, we need to find you a new shifter, so leave your car with us and we'll let you know when we get it in. Here's the problem. Those shifters are currently unavailable. God knows when they're going to be back in stock. If you talk to GM basically every day like I do, you know what's available and what's not. But what the dealership will do is sit there parked in their back lot outdoors for months, literal months, waiting for a part that isn't going to show up because there aren't any. Now, do they have the flexibility, the shop that you're talking about doing, or even some of the better Chevy dealerships do this too, when they recognize that there is no GM sourceable solution to your problem, they go to the aftermarket to Dorman or Delphi or Standard or C&S Corvettes and say, these people have the solution to the problem. We're going to go ahead and fix your car using that part. But that is not the majority of Chevy dealers. Most Chevy dealers are only going to use GM parts, which I understand from their business model why they do that. But that means that their business model is more important than fixing your car. When you're a multi-gazillion dollar business, you can afford to be that way. When you're not a multi-gazillion dollar business, your job's to fix cars. So you're going to source the parts wherever you need to get the car fixed and the customer back on the road and smile on their face. So the top 3 things to review: local reputation history / communication, realistic pricing and what constitutes a completed job, and 3, flexibility, not only in scheduling or for unforeseen occurrences, but also for parts availability. You know, is this shop going to find whatever works the best as opposed to picking from just one brand worth of stuff? So you follow those 3 tenets, odds are you're going to find yourself in a situation where at least you're being treated fairly, you're being communicated with, and odds are your car is going to be fixed in a realistic period of time. I hope you find these little tips helpful. I know this is short and sweet, but I just wanted to get that out there because we've had such a flood of these cars in recently, and I'm trying to be proactive for you to let you know what to look for. I hope you found this helpful. Take care. Have a great day.